You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to episode 167 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, it's Sean back at you with another exciting episode of the Soul Forge. Because you know, every episode is exciting, and week after week, they're more exciting than the last. This week, we've got a special treat for you. At long last, our good friend Tracy has returned to the show. Hello, Tracy.
Ah, yay! Hi.
Hi.
I'm not really sure what that was.
No, that was nice. How the hell are you?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Where have you been the last little while?
Hiding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mostly doing self-care stuff.
that's important.
Yeah. I've had to make some decisions about what's important and what I'm able to do. Yeah, and it really hasn't involved a lot of outside people.
No.
Up until more recently.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about this week, is it?
No.
We're talking about something that you've recently got into, you've always been interested in. Give me some background of witchcraft.
'Cause it's witchcraft.
Okay, well...
Is that even the right term?
I would say so. So my journey, it didn't really start with witchcraft specifically. However, it was a component. So I really started with Reiki.
Okay,
so
that's rocks and chakras and stuff?
Reiki is chakras, the 7 chakras in the body. You know, you can learn to do Reiki, which is essentially the movement of energy, or the management, I guess I'm just going to say, of energy. So each chakra has energy points, and you can maneuver it, I guess, to kind of keep it in balance. You had mentioned the stones, so energy crystals, which people may have heard of. I'm not sure if we ever talked about that on the podcast, or if somebody else did.
I don't think we've ever covered that topic at all.
So then, with Reiki, you can add crystals. Certain crystals are good for certain chakras or for certain situations, so you can make that kind of together. So I went from Reiki to crystals. And meditation was always a part of both of those things. Mm-hmm. And just kind of started paying more attention to the things that I could control, or at least feel that I could control.
Okay.
Things like magic started to come up. Things like spells, or I kind of got more interested in that.
When did this happen? Like years and years ago, or recent?
No, very recently. Like, for my life anyway, maybe about a year and a half ago, maybe a little less.
Because within the last year or so, we did do an episode on meditation.
Yes, I think that was more than a year ago, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Maybe. So the Reiki and the crystals and stuff happened before. The interest in witchcraft is the most recent. And to be honest, when I started getting interested in it, I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch again.
Like the original or the Netflix?
The Netflix version. So just interesting that some of the things I had learned and read about, I saw on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just started reading more and more. And since then, I've kind of started developing my craft.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Before we learn more about that, let's play a promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
Great idea.
I'm Drew Leiter.
And I'm Cletus Jacobs.
And we're here on the station surviving the coronavirus. Since you guys are probably quarantined there down on Earth, we'll let you know we got DC news, comics, television shows we're going to be talking about every week. Come join us every week on the Earth Station DCU podcast here on the ESO Network.
Everyone these days could use a little support, and your friends at the ESO Network are no different. With the ESO Network Patreon, the cool thing is when you help support us, it's you who will benefit. With 4 tiers starting for as little as 25 cents a week, you can listen to some of your favorite network podcasts early, hear exclusive content, maybe get some ESO swag, or even possibly take a shot at the geek seat. All you need to do is sign up at patreon.com/ESO Network.
Okay, sorry for that interruption, but that's a necessary component of being on the ESO network.
No worries at all.
Okay, so I think I first noticed that you were into alternate things when I bought my house, and I was moving in, and you said, I'm going to come over and I'm going to smudge your house.
Right.
And I'm like, what now?
Yeah.
You're going to do what?
Yeah. So smudging is... The word is actually like a Native American, it came from what they do, and the Native American tradition is to use white sage, and it's to get rid of any negative energies or entities, such as ghosts or spirits or whatever, from that space. You can also smudge a person.
Yes, I was vaguely aware of this.
Yes. Actually, I do this on the mornings that I work. So I have my little office is in the same room as I have all my witch stuff. So the energies from the computer, I don't really want it affecting energies from my other things. So I smudge the room and myself when I work.
Every morning.
Well, I only work 4 days a week, but yeah. So, and I really find that helpful. I also have, I think I'm going off track here, but I also have on my computer a bunch of stones. Okay. And often, every day, I'll go choose different stones. I don't remember what they're for. I have a book I can look, but I just kind of go by... Feeling. Okay. And what I think would be helpful. I also carry stones in my purse, and in my pockets, and in my bra, and in my car. You just have rocks all over the place. Right. Okay. Right. Anyway, back to smudging. So... I did your house with the white sage, which you can buy at a lot of metaphysical kind of stores. We have Altered Reality in town, which is where I get mine. But you can also use other things. There's sweetgrass that you can use. Okay. Last summer, I made a bunch of cedar smudge sticks. So I have cedars in my yard, and they needed to be cut. So, I just made them into sticks, bunched them all together and dried them out, and I burned them, and they're actually kind of cool because they crackle. Ooh. Yeah. And they have a nice smell? Yeah. It's cedar, so. Of course. It does. Yeah, and different plants, I guess, that you can burn mean different things. You can also burn a bay leaf, which is for good luck, and so there's so many things that you can do for that kind of So different plants have different purposes? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But of course I don't remember them all right now. Well, of course not. No. Because don't you have a pile of books, reference books? I do. I have books on crystals. I have books on Reiki. I have books on general witchcraft. I haven't really gone too much specifically aside from those things. I have one on intuition, though, which is really interesting to me, and just talking about trusting what you feel, what you think is right. Okay. As also part of witchcraft, and I thought it was very interesting how it discussed how everybody has the ability, they just may not use it. The ability to be intuitive. Okay. Yeah. Like to trust your gut, or is that different? Just trusting your gut. You can be intuitive in different ways. So there's trusting your gut in a situation. There's intuition where you can maybe all of a sudden you see something happening, and then it happens, you know, a year later, a week later, or whatever. That's a different kind of intuition. It also involves, or could involve, speaking with spirits or seeing ghosts or things like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Which I believe I have done. Seen ghosts? Oh yeah,
or felt their
I
presence.
see spirits all the time. I think people are not going to like me saying that, but I do. In my house, it's weird.
Like, what does it look like? Is it
usually like a darkness, but it doesn't have a negative feeling.
like not an evil?
No, it just feels like there's somebody with me.
Okay.
'Cause it's witchcraft, that crazy witchcraft.
Yeah.
Okay. Because my brother Robin, he's always talking about the ghosts that follow him from place to place to place, and even in my house, I've heard things like people shuffling papers and stuff, and there's nobody else there. So I've heard things, and I'm like, am I just imagining it? Is there something there? Is it, like, where's that coming from? So
yeah, and it can be scary depending on what your beliefs are.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not scary for me because I think I have a good enough feeling to if it was evil or not. If it was an evil sense that I got, I would probably do some sort of spell or ritual to get that negative spirit out of my
presence.
house.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
My first, the strongest situation or experience that I had was back in late November. My mom had a brother who passed away many, many years ago before I was born, and he was only 15. And I was just kind of relaxing, looking at the Christmas tree, because I'd already put my Christmas tree up, of course.
Of course.
And I really just all of a sudden felt this comforting presence. And he said, it's going to be okay. I didn't know what, I thought he was talking about me. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry. Like, your life's going to turn out. That's what I thought.
Like, you heard this out loud?
No.
Or
I heard it in my head.
Okay.
Which sounds even weirder. But a week and a half later, my mom's other brother died.
Oh.
And until I found out how sick he was, like I said, I thought it was about me.
Right.
But I don't think it was.
No.
No.
Boy.
And I haven't heard from, I heard from that spirit or my uncle again before he died, but not since. So since my other uncle died in December, I haven't had any contact, I guess.
Why do you think you heard it?
Probably because I'm the only one that's open to it.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, weird stuff that can go along with witchcraft. Also a lot of fear. Look at the history of witches, and I'm learning a little bit. There's so much I don't know and probably will never know, but everybody loved witches for a long time, right? They were the medicine women and healers and stuff, and then all of a sudden certain situations happened, and then they were, evil and devils. And
because the patriarchy took over and had to take the power from the women, do you think?
I think it's partially that, but from one account that I read anyway, and I think this was in Salem, like the better known place, I guess, in the U.S., that people started kind of what they would describe as going crazy. People, especially children, with like visions and high fevers and just stuff like that, and they blamed these women who were healers.
And wasn't it actually some kind of fungus in the wheat?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it had nothing to do with the women who were healers.
No.
It was, and they just wanted to blame somebody. So, yeah, going back to beliefs. Yeah, everybody has different beliefs. Everybody has different experiences which help create your beliefs. And I think with my mental health experiences, and I wasn't on the verge of death, but I wasn't that far either. So I think that really changed things for me.
In the last couple years.
Yeah, it was almost 2 years ago now that happened. So
for new listeners, go check out episode 72 of the podcast for Tracy's full story.
Yes, please do. So I don't know. What else do you want me to talk about?
What do people think when you tell them about this, or do you keep it on the down low?
I keep it on the down low for sure.
Yeah.
If the topic comes up, or I can offer something, I will. But I haven't really said to my parents, oh look, I consider myself a witch.
Right.
Right?
Right. Of course. Of course. I've met your mom. I don't think she'd be too
Right.
impressed.
No, not likely.
No. Is it like a religion that you're following, like Wicca, or is that the same thing? Is it different? Like, how does that correspond?
So Wicca can have witchcraft in it,
Okay.
depending on your coven, they called, which is like your group, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's also, you can be pagan, which may or may not involve witchcraft.
Okay.
And then there's just witchcraft. And again, this is my very simplified, limited knowledge
'Cause
version.
you're
so
just-
I,
you're just
I
starting
could be
out.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So for everybody, witchcraft can be different. So there are green witches, which do a lot with, that's kind of how I feel about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff with nature and plants and herbalism and...
Right, because you were telling me about making poultices or salves,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
explain.
I've made a dandelion salve, which is good for really any kind of minor skin issues, even eczema, or my feet get really dry and bad in the summer because somehow they react to the earth, which I don't like. But anyhow, so I did it this morning actually. I put it on the dry parts of my feet just like you would a cream.
And it works?
It works much better than a cream does.
Really?
Yeah, for me anyway. And again, not everybody's going to believe this. Not everybody's going to have the same experiences.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it works on you because you're a believer, or just because it's more natural and it works?
I think it works because it just works.
It just does.
It just does, right?
Okay.
It might not for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also made another salve out of plantain. So if anybody wants to do a quick Google search of what that looks like, I can almost promise you that you have it in your yard. And it's really good for first aid. You can actually like pick it, chew it up or break it down a little bit, and then put it right on, a sting, a bite.
Really?
Yeah. My son had gone, I'm not sure, fishing or something, and he got a bunch of bites on his legs. And he put it on, and it really made a difference in the itching and stuff.
It made the itches go away.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I also collected a lot of flowers and herbs to make teas out of.
Okay.
And different ones are good for different things. And
Have you tasted the teas?
I've only tasted one.
And?
I don't think I'd want to drink it by itself. It's called, the one I had was called Goldenrod. But I just put it with another herbal tea that I would drink normally, right?
Yeah.
I haven't tried any of the other ones because all the other ones are new for me this year. That was part of last year's harvest, I guess you can call. So
Okay.
I'll send you a picture because I took a picture of them all hanging in my witch room.
My witch room.
Yeah,
Oh, I
my
like-
witch room / office. It depends on the day. I
Right,
call
right.
it one or the other.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've got them all hanging and drying, and then after that I can put them in jars just to keep for teas and stuff, or later I can make a salve or a tincture out of.
Okay.
What that is that you put it in alcohol
Ah.
and you let it soak. I think it's better if you do it fresh, but it's possible from dried. And then you would just take a couple drops a couple times a day, depending on the flower and depending on what you need it for and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun going around different places looking for things. And actually, even my husband is quite into it. I said, well, I could go by myself. You don't have to come. And he's like, no, I like going with you. It's fun to find things. And
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And is he getting into it like you are, or he's just supporting you?
He's just supporting me, yeah. I don't know if he believes, but he said, I believe that you believe, and that's enough.
That's supportive.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's pretty darn good.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
have you gotten any negative reactions from people?
Again, I really haven't told
You haven't?
anybody.
So you don't have like a group of people that you trade recipes or herbs with or anything like that?
Online, yeah.
Okay.
I follow a bunch of Facebook pages and groups with green witches or witchcraft or spells or whatever, so...
Okay, because it's still pretty underground.
It can be. Depends on the person. I would like to find more people in town, but so far I'm not I'm enjoying the way I'm practicing. I'm learning very slowly, and I'm taking my time. And I kind of jump around. Right now I'm really doing the herbalism because I'm just kind of got everything. But other times I might be more into the crystals or Reiki or spells. We haven't talked about spells yet.
I'll want to know about spells too in just a moment.
Okay.
But every once in a while I'll be looking through Facebook and I'll see like a subtle witchcraft post. And I think I sent you a meme of it the other day.
Did. Yeah, yes. I liked that one.
Because there's a few people on the friends list who are into it, but they don't really advertise it.
Right.
But every once in a while they'll just put out a subtle hint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there's something else going on here.
I've done the Facebook search about, any witches and Timmins. I know a couple, but none that really belong to a group. And I don't necessarily want to be in a coven, but it's just nice to talk with people who have similar beliefs,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about spells. You have to do rituals under the moonlight, or is that just popular culture mumbo jumbo?
It's not mumbo jumbo.
Oh,
actually.
Tell me more.
Different spells may be better done on a full moon.
Okay.
Or on a new moon, or on what they call a dark moon, so when you don't really see the moon. Or they say astrology is a part of witchcraft too, which I haven't gotten into. But wait until Mercury is in this or like
in retrograde or
I
whatever.
Obviously don't know the terms, but you're better to do spells then. So there's that.
Okay.
There are definitely full moon rituals or even rituals.
Do you ever need Eye of Newt or Dragon's Tears?
Not yet.
No?
No.
Because, when you watch movies, Eye of Newt and this and that. And
I'm sure they're a thing, and I'm sure you could order them online, to be honest with you, because if they said it in a movie, I'm guessing it's somewhat truthful.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Yeah,
Did you watch a lot of witchy movies?
No.
No?
I don't have a reason not to.
No.
It's just... I'll go back to what we talked about at the beginning. I have kind of limited time.
Yes.
In my schedule just to help my mental health. So I have to pick and choose what I do.
But this gives you something to focus on.
Yeah.
You enjoy it.
Very much.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to start getting into this kind of stuff, do you have any advice that you could give them that you've learned now from your experience?
I'll give the advice that I got.
Okay.
Is to read. Read, and read some more. There is so much information to learn if you want to.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's some people really go into the history, or some people you can do astrology or crystals or spells, or people make these little I forget what they're called, but it's like a little bottle they fill with herbs, oils, flowers, crystals, whatever they want. They seal it up with wax, and then you can carry it around with you as for protection or to bring love to your self-love, or maybe it's romantic love. There's so many things.
Right.
And I just want to jump back real quick, Sean, to the spells.
Yeah.
And you mentioned rituals. So some spells you have to sit in the circle with north, east, south, and west. So earth, air, wind, and fire. Open your circle, close your circle. There are some things that you need certain crystals for. Or you need certain herbs, or whatever you said a little while ago. What was it?
Eye of Newt.
Right, or dragon's blood, or whatever. And every spell can be different.
Root of hemlock, dig to the dark, gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse.
However, you also read in a lot of the books that you make it your own. So if you want to do your spell this way, then that's how you do it.
Oh.
Not all spells work. Sometimes we ask at the wrong time.
Okay.
sometimes we maybe need to make little adjustments to our spell, or and a big part of doing that kind of thing is writing it all down.
Oh.
What did I do? And then later, how did it work? And how did it make me feel?
So you can go back to it.
Yeah. So witches, some of them have a book called a grimoire or a book of shadows, that they're supposed to write all that stuff in, whatever they want about witchcraft, herbalism, any of it. So,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to tell us that we haven't covered, or is that
just that anybody keep an open mind?
That's the most important part?
I think so. Not only for anything that you might want to explore, but things that other people explore.
Right.
We talked about, I haven't really went out and told everybody.
Right. Because a lot of people think it's woo-woo.
Right. It's woo-woo.
You're friggin' crazy. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so dumb. She doesn't. What the heck is she talking about? She's seeing spirits and talking to dead people and all this, but
It's witchcraft.
I mean, you can believe that if you want to believe that, but...
Oh, my mom had lots of stories about ghosts.
Yeah?
So...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to talk more about that later.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do appreciate you sharing your story, your tales of witchcraft with us and our listeners.
Sorry it was so mumble-jumble today, but this is my first time back in a long time, so...
Yeah, no,
I'll be better next time.
Of course. We'll have to have you again real soon. We'll figure out something else fun to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, listeners, I hope you enjoyed that. A new perspective on something that you may not hear about too often in pop culture, in the media, anywhere really.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet, I would say.
For the most part, yeah.
Yep. But if you have any more questions that Tracy can answer for you, just email us, soulforgepodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
But until next time, thanks for coming by, thanks for listening, share the links, tell your friends about the podcast, and remember, if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to others. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
The Witch's Spell, from Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge-pig whined. Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad the thunder-cold stone, days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom, sleeping gods, boil thou first to the charmed pots. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, moor and gulf of the ravined salt sea shark. Root of hemlock, dig to the dark. Liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse. Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab, add her to a tiger's children, for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with the baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.